Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. That's too close. All right. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, so we got damn, my glare trips me out every time. Okay. So, welcome to my Daily Dads, VDads official, whatever you want to call this. This is a morning show. It is 5:30 in the morning here. My counterparts on the East Coast, 8:30 in the morning. How's everyone doing? We are here to, what are we here to do? Just check in with each other, hang, vibe, help each other in any way, shape, or form. And then we get in a little bit to the readings of The Daily Dad by Ryan Holiday. If you don't know the book, it's an amazing book. I love it. I think I'm on my second year round reading it. So you basically just read a page a day and use it in any way, shape, or form you want to either reflect on the previous day, kind of go through what you did good, what you did bad, kind of take notes on your life, or you use it to help you in the day going forward. I do a combination of the both. I, like to think about what I did yesterday with my wife and kids and anyone else in my life. And then I like to kind of keep a little nugget in my brain for as long as I can and try to help me proceed through the day. So, a little bit more housekeeping. We are live on multiple platforms, but we mostly engage with our community on Twitch. So, if you ever see any of these messages pop up on the screen, this is mostly our little group chatting on Twitch. So Elena's over there saying good morning, letting us know that she's exhausted. She's a mom of 3, but her saving grace is always coffee. And then we got my buddy Jason. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Jason is actually a host. He's hanging out in the background, fixing his hair so that he can come up here looking handsome and dapper as ever. But yeah, good morning. How's everybody doing? If you want to drop a message, let me know that you're out there listening. Please do so. And then we'll get started in just a minute here. First thing we like to start with is some daily gratitude. So let's everybody drop some gratitude in the chat. Let us know what you're feeling today. This is another thing that I like to start my day with. It's actually one of the first things I do. Aside from waking up, using the restroom, and then either driving to work or coming down here into the garage, the first thing I do is open my notebook and I drop some gratitude in it. Oh, shit. Try my hardest to start my day in that, and it does make me feel just that much better. So I'll drop mine in a second here, just checking in on the chat. David just finished making his coffee. Get that sip in, dude. Get that first taste. Get that smell. I know you coffee people, you just love it so much. I have it a little bit with the Celsius, like the first taste. Obviously, there's no smell. Oh, there's kind of a smell. It smells like peach. But the first taste does hit well. MP, good morning. How you doing, buddy? How's everything going? At the house, how's everything going with work? How's everything going with little baby girl? She's growing up super quick, super fast. I'm sure you guys are loving it, but also like, hey, little one, just, stop growing up. I know those early days.
Good
And of
morning.
course, we have morning, Jason. See, look, he couldn't get his hair done, folks, so he just put a hat on.
Hat
And of
day.
course, we have Dylan. Dylan's always in the car driving, but he's always listening, lurking. Love you,
Here's
bud.
here's what I'm doing when
What's up?
I'm backstage. I'm trying to focus all of my. I think I spend way too much time on this. I retype out the social descriptions, and I feel like I feel like a dweeb doing it.
For what?
Like I'll take the title and I'll put it in my post, and then
Mm,
some kind of guiding question
to put it onto Twitter or whatever.
lure in new community members. We used to have it, and I have an idea for like setting it for the week, so
Hmm.
we can just cut and paste.
Yeah. Did you ever renew your X, like premium or whatever it is?
I did. I have a
Okay.
blue check.
I haven't checked that, so I haven't been clicking your X. I don't. We should all circle back at some point and figure out.
No, we're at our limit because when I go and check it, we have to. I guess we have to pay money or something to get more access. They
Yeah,
want
you can only click so many profiles. So I click your Facebook instead of your X. I don't, because used to click your X, but then your X went on premium. So then it kind of like went back and forth. But anyways, yeah, we'll figure that out.
yeah, later time. We'll do some executive house cleaning later. How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm at the house in the middle of the week, which you guys know is not typical, but my kids are on spring break, and the plan today is to take at least Brooklyn, maybe Bentley, with me into work in a little bit, drop them off with their grandparents, and then they'll spend the day with their grandparents while I work, and then we'll all spend the night with the grandparents. I'll work again a little bit tomorrow, and then we will come back here early, pick up whoever else is here, and then head to Arizona for the weekend. Um, so a little bit different of a shift here. It's what I mean. If you want to go right into gratitude, like that's one of the things I'm most grateful for about the job and the work and the career that I have is that flexibility allows me to do these kind of things to help my wife out on spring breaks and summer vacations. Like summer vacation, we do this, yeah, like maybe every other week. I'll bring them out with me for a day or two. Um, it helps the grandparents not have to drive all the way out here. I do enjoy bringing the kids to work with me, seeing the different phases of my projects. It always, like, there was one time where I had a job that lasted like 2.5 years. So they got to see, like, over 3 summers, they got to see like the different progression of the job. So I thought that was really cool.
I like that. I enjoy that setup for you.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's not regular, or I should say irregular. I guess that's a better word for it. I like the thought that comes to my mind when you're describing your day to day is, when was the last time I talked to somebody that just had the same day in, day out all the time? And I can't really remember it. Like
Yeah.
maybe back when we were like in our 20s when we didn't have kids, it was really easy to fall into like just kind of a daily grind. I mean, it's
Hmm.
grindy, don't get me wrong. Like my past 2 days were pretty grindy. Um, but I rarely hear somebody who just has the same thing every single day. And I think that's a nice change. Like one of the topics we talked about in the past few days was like parents being gone or parents being absent for whatever reason, whether it's work or or seeing stuff. Um, and I don't really think that's a thing. I'm sure there are, but it seems like we've grown out of that as a society, maybe at least in my larger circle.
Yeah. No, I think so too. I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know that it's necessarily, like, sometimes I go back and forth on whether that's a good thing or not, right? Like, I think our lives are a little bit more complicated now. Good morning, Ryan.
Good
Like,
morning. Good morning,
we can't just be a
Hermano.
parent and have one career. Like, we have to just spin up a sourdough company. Um, so I think it's a combination of that, but at the same time, like, I think because of that, we're all on a different level than past generations. We're kind of able to handle more, able to, you know, what's the word, evolve as humans, like in comparison to
We're
the,
better. Just we're
and
better. That's
yeah,
we're
like
just a
we
better.
shouldn't say that, but like we are. Like, come on.
Just better humans.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's your day going?
It's not bad. My computer, I unplugged it last night, and then I forgot that I needed to boot it up. I even said that earlier, and I was like, no, change that in the text message and
Do you
say
have
restart.
like a desktop or something? I haven't heard boot up since
He does.
last time I heard it, which is
I do. I think it's like a 2010. I don't know, something. It was actually from Kristen. It was from Kristen. It was from Lauren's sister, which was incredibly nice of her. She just wasn't using it, so it was like, I will put it to use because I needed it at the time because I was working off of an iPad and just wasn't doing the job. So, but how did you guys get into the conversation of like different generations and kind of the differences between what we have going on right now?
You kind of spun off of Dom's weekly spring break plan. I just enjoyed hearing how his work and his family time just kind of alternates every day. And he's got some grandparents in town, so we can kind of share the load. And that gave me the thought about what our experience as kids were like. A lot of friends we knew didn't have both parents home at time. It was kind of like the same daily schedule every day. One parent comes home late, one parent comes home early, or both parents come home later. You let yourself in the house. It just kind of seems like today it could be different day to day or week to week, which I think I feel like that's a nice change. That's my opinion. Kind of teaches our kids to
be adaptable.
Gives them an idea of what their adult life might be, which kind of rolls into today. What do you think your kids are picking up from your habits today that they might think about in the future? Or your schedule, or how you handle family time and your work schedule and other responsibilities. So I wrapped that up nicely.
Well, great job. I think I've been talking to at least my oldest about I've been playing up the idea more like, I own my own practice. I'm making my own schedule, knowing full well that like right now I'm trying to change a few things. Just quickly, it's like moving from a cash-based business to an insurance-based business. It is like not easy. And so I'm trying to kind of circumnavigate this by getting in with some other businesses and companies to like see how they're running things on the insurance based. So I have a little bit of an uphill, not battle, but I will have some work to do of like getting in with these companies, setting some contracts up with them so that I can kind of work with them. It basically is like part-time work, but I'm trying to get a sense of like what they're doing and then build off of the client load that I currently, that I will have with them. So I have 2 interviews. I have one tomorrow, one today. I have a contract discussion later today, and I'm not good at it whatsoever. And I know I'm going to get taken advantage of, so I'm trying not to. But I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing what I can to set myself up. But it's a lot. But why I'm saying this is because I keep talking to my oldest, like, she's like, Dad, you make your own schedule, right? And she's like, did you hire people? I was like, man, like deep down, I'm like, if she knew that it is really just me right now, and it's not like a business, but like I did hire people at one point, and I was working with them, and like she's like, yeah, okay, so there were people that you did hire. Well, where are they? And I'm like, well, you know what? There was a point where I gave them tasks, and we didn't get enough business for me to keep them on. Like I don't know how else to tell her that. And so I keep, again, why I'm just going this route, because I think it's definitely good, is like you can create your own life, but like knowing full well that what it took to get here, and I know what's going to come up at least for the next 6 months. It is like you can't plan for it. Like it was just like jumping in the blender, and it's like where I am now, and it's not an easy life whatsoever. So it's like I don't know if she's going to grow up being like, my dad had his stuff together. I don't think she will. But, it's like that legacy of like, what is it going to be? I just want her. I think I have such like a negative idea of like the 9 to 5. I just don't want her to have that.
I would suspect that they don't even know what that means.
What, the 9 to 5?
Yeah, based on, I mean, I think I have a decent idea of like what your business responsibilities are. I couldn't imagine they would know what 9 to 5 even means. Like
I mean,
like the last time we had to, like, when was the last time we had to use that word on a regular basis?
I use it often because I talk so negatively about it, but no, you know what it is? It's like, I think she's starting to notice that like mom and dad are able to be around maybe more than some other people's parents are. And it's like, oh, well, okay, you guys, like, daddy's wearing gym clothes most of the time, and daddy goes to the gym when, and mommy goes to the gym when. Like, how do they do that? Because those parents over there are doing something different. And so I think it's them realizing certain things. And I want her to see the benefit in being able to they just have choices in life, I think. And I think she's seeing that. So yeah, she doesn't know what the 9 to 5 is, but she knows there's a difference between some people's parents and us.
Yeah, I think
Dom, there must be a difference between how your kids are seeing you running your business, right? And then you having to spend some days away. But you guys, you make it seem very seamless. Plus, I guess you have the in-laws involved, so it kind of makes like, hey, I'm going to grandma and grandpa's. Like, I think it's a little bit easier for you too. Well, hold on, I'm not going to say anything about it being easier. Just retract that completely. You have your own situation going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what my kids see, but maybe I should ask them. Because like I said, I've brought them to work, so they know what I do. They for the most part know my schedule. I try to lay it out for them as much as I can, so that they know when to expect me and when not to expect me. They're very adaptable, so, and I was never worried about that with them. We've always kind of like moved around. I think that's like going back to Jason's original point, but because like life is so much different right now, I don't think my kids grew up through the ages. It was always like this. So it's not like I had a 9 to 5 and then I all of a sudden didn't. So the only difference now is just the distance. And again, we've been here for 4 years, so they're used to it by now. And they'll always have mom, and yeah, I think that they're good. Like I do my best to try to make the time that I have with them like count as hard as it can every weekend, so that they don't miss me when I'm gone.
I feel like you just said that, and my mind went towards a little bit darker for a second. Also, I'm reading a book on all like Valhalla and the people who die with during courageous moments and like in moments of bravery. And so I'm thinking about you when you were talking about, remember it was the day you were sitting in your car and you were talking about your journal, and you're like, I like to journal because I know that, if I'm not here, they can always find my journal and everything's going to be in there. So I just thought that was good. I had to do this. This is bothering me. I was so happy with like this arrangement before, but like I got these 2 new plants and they just like overtake everything. And I'm really upset right now. So you guys keep talking. I'm going to keep looking and see how I can work this out. All right, cool. We're good.
Yeah.
I was just to let you know, I was sitting down. I forgot if I took my ADHD medication or not. So I may have doubled up on my stimulants. So if I start going crazy, you'll know why.
Everybody keep an eye on Ryan on X today. Let's do wellness.
Gonna create everything. You're gonna see it. All these things.
Notifications all day long.
Good morning, BroFit. Good morning or good evening, Craig.
This is kind of nice. This is kind of like a little like plant keeping channel.
Lighter, right? Like it was just too much.
It was coming in, you know. I was like, are they growing like that fast over there? Like, what is he giving? He's like dropping his ADHD medicine in the plants. Plant nutritionalist now.
Well, here's what I know about Ryan's apartment. I've been there twice. It is cozy and it is homely and comfortable. It is not big. And I'm going to assume that like his plants right there take up a large amount of real estate in what seems to be their bedroom.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that. I think that's much better than
that looks less cluttered, right?
I mean, it's probably better than what's on the other side of the wall in the camera, which is his B-Friends collection and his vending machine. So yeah. I'm sure his wife would say, keep the plants, get rid of the cartoons.
I'm actually really embarrassed about one of the things I have here because it looks ridiculous. Like when people are like, "Oh, B-Friends, oh, that's cool," I'll tell them about it, and they come in my room to see. They're like, "Oh, you're like that, huh? You want to see it? Hold on."
Oh man! All right. Oh wow!
Someone was giving it away, and I was like, "I'll take it."
Yeah. So that just hangs over your bed, huh?
No, just my desk.
Okay.
All right, we're making this work. I think
it looks great. I thought it looks fine. It
looks better.
It also matches the Daily Dads setup we got. There's a lot of greens here.
Mm-hmm. You're like camouflage.
Yeah.
I guess there's this like one dying plant. This one's dying. I just want to change it out. Like I think about it way too much.
Ryan, do you name your plants like Kristen does?
No, I'm not crazy.
Nice. That's a solid gratitude there, bro. Fit. I hope your dad's doing well. Looks like you're having some good times. There's also something you missed there. Dom is also coming to Arizona tomorrow, so you know, but it's cool. You could be grateful for that on Saturday when we finally meet. I've never met BroFit face to face, and it's going down in 3 days.
It seems like Arizona is a common location this year. Turners are going to be invading at some point. My side of the family is road tripping out. We
you guys are going in is it May or June?
In July. Well, end of June to beginning of July. We rented an RV. We got a good little plan going here.
And Ryan, are you just going, or your whole family going?
No, whole family. My uncle's been trying to get I think like a pseudo family reunion, but I think it's slowly becoming more of a family reunion right now. I think we've all been like I think we've all just had a lot of our stages of life hit us at once, and so I think we've all been a little bit more disconnected than we probably would like. And so he's been surprisingly, I think, a lot more grounded than most of us. So he's like, hey, you know what? I got a place over here because he owns a business up in Washington State. It's a chinking business, and if you guys don't know what that is, he basically goes around to log homes of all sizes, and he
expensive ones mostly, I think.
What's that?
The expensive ones.
Yeah. No, I mean he like shares pictures, so like he'll share celebrities that are up there, whatever's going on, but then he'll end up taking those. He ends up taking like what goes in between the wood logs. That's called chink, and then he'll replace it because I guess I don't even know how long it can last, but that's his business. And so he somehow built all that all up, and so he travels all over. And then he bought a house down in Arizona because he just wanted to get away from the cold. So he has 2 homes, and he's been liking it.
Nice.
Yeah, I always admired that setup. That's a off the beaten path way to support yourself. I don't even know how. I think he just started as maybe like part-time, like tons of years ago. But yeah, it's just like travel, working on houses, seeing how other people live. I think that puts him in contact, I think, with like a lot of celebrities. I feel like I could imagine.
There's one celebrity he keeps talking about. I don't know who it is, but whenever I see, I'm like, oh yeah. And apparently she's like a really good singer, is what I'll say. But Uncle Jeff, great job. Which I think that's a legacy in itself. I'm sure his kids are going to be his kids. He has a daughter. His daughter's going to remember for sure, like everything that he does. And he's such a good dad too. Like he's an older dad. Jason, how old is Uncle Jeff? He has to be 60. What?
He's in his 60s.
Yeah, I think it's early 60s, maybe late 50s. I forget what he is. But his daughter is in high school right now. She's going to be moving on to college in a year or two. So he's like an older dad, but he really does a good job of trying to make things work, which is like that legacy of like, hey, my dad was around. And, you know, I think just the reality of things is that like he is likely going to be in a very much older age when his daughter gets to not adulthood, but when she's out of college and stuff. And so, you know, the legacy of like my dad worked really hard and he tried to do everything. Like, you know, he came to New York and helped follow this band around that she loved. And I know that she's going to remember that. Like my dad went all over the country with me to follow this one band that I really loved. And like he did it when he was here. Like we drove him, you know, around to where they had to be. And he just did. He was just like, yes, dad. Like he was like, whatever you need, let's have fun. I think he just really wants that like legacy himself, and I think it's really something to look up to.
Yeah, he makes his time count, and I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing his adventures. He does all the big things, which is great. Goes over the top. He when my daughter was in Girl Scouts, and we had to do like sell cookies, he would buy like 100 boxes. Which was like half of however many they had to sell. So, and I gotta okay. So,
by the way, you have to send us money for Sloan's reading.
Yes, I do, because I have that in my text thread. This is an apology to Uncle Jeff. When me and Kristen got married, he sent us a gift. He sent us a popcorn maker, and at least the box was a popcorn maker, and we never used it. And
it's just $10,000 inside.
I think that might be what was inside the box, because my mom texted like 2 years after that, and she was like, "Hey, did you ever open your popcorn maker?" And we're like, I think we sold it."
Oh God.
So sorry, Uncle Jeff. I feel bad about that.
It's actually nice. I haven't like thought about Uncle Jeff as the history. I know it's 901, the history that he's kind of like left with us, because like he was the uncle that would like for Christmas send us like a 10-pound bag of like gummy bears. Like that was his gift, right? So he was always, you know, keeping it fun.
Super liked by your parents, I'm guessing.
He was the youngest child in his family. No, well, my mom adores him. So
no, I just meant in that moment of like sending you 10 pounds of gummy bears for 3 boys.
No, 10 pounds per boy.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, no, I should correct myself.
I gotta go. But yeah, Uncle Jeff, I would say I have nephews and nieces, and when I think about what a good uncle does, that usually he is usually who comes to mind. The fun.
If Jason doesn't send 10 pounds of gummy bears to Ryan's kids this Christmas, we've failed here.
Pounds of gummy bears.
No, it's making me realize that we're not as cool as Uncle Jeff was, and like,
yeah, I think I'm kind of failing on this realization.
Step it up.
I know. Thanks, Uncle Jeff.
Okay. Just keep an eye on the mailbox the next few days. All right, I gotta go. See you guys.
Right. I gotta see you.
All right. Is that the show? It is. The Turner boys just left. I'm here alone. Everybody who's still with me, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming here, hanging out. Yeah, mugs. I don't know the saying. Blaze made it up, and then Blaze hasn't been here, but we hope that your mugs are filled with coffee and your hearts are filled with gratitude. See, I had to think during that. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. What's up, Jasmine? 911 Initiative. How you doing? I see you popping in here at the end. We are signing off. So catch us tomorrow. We start at 5:30 a.m. PST, 8:30 a.m. EST. But you are more than welcome to come back and watch the show. If you were lurking the whole time, then that's totally fine too. But yeah, see you tomorrow, everybody. Peace. Come on, music, get up there.